Hello there. Today I was going to take a look at a widely distributed white Burgundy. So the wine I have here is a Mâcon-Villages. This is the 2022 vintage, and this is from the Cave de Lugny. Now the Cave de Lugny are a cooperative, a large cooperative, based in the village of Lugny in Mâcon, the more southerly region of Burgundy. The cooperative was founded in 1926, so it's nearly 100 years old. It started with 116 members. Within 3 years it had grown to 180 members, and now there are over 400 members of the cooperative. They are in fact the largest producer of Burgundy. They're also the largest producer of Mâcon-Villages. They produce over a third of the Mâcon region's wine. Taken together, the surface area of the vineyards that the cooperative's members manage is somewhere in the region of 1,400 hectares, over 15 square kilometres, which is over 15 square kilometres. And these are predominantly round the cave itself, the winery, although there are also members in Saint-Gengoux-de-Scissé, Burgy and Péronne. Of the cooperative's vineyards, 85% of those are Chardonnay. I would assume the majority of the rest are Pinot Noir, because they do produce reds as well, although there's a little Aligoté as well, and probably a few other varietals. So in all, they take fruit from 232 estates over 23 different communes. The vineyards here tend to have shallow limestone soils, and they tend to be southeast facing hillsides. Average vine age is 30 years, and the cooperative has been certified for sustainable vine growing since 2015. Macon's position within the wines of Burgundy is often seen as representing good value. There are a lot of very well made wines produced by small estates from vineyards that they have in Mâcon, and often Macons that take on the village names or the names of lieux-dits, individual vineyards, can have better quality. However, this is a simple, widely available wine made from Chardonnay. Mâcon, being in the south of Burgundy, tends to be the warmest part of the region, and therefore the fruit produced here tends to be riper. So flavours are a little richer, but the wines don't have quite the same nervosity and crisp acidity. The fruit for this wine is entirely machine harvested. It's gently pressed using pneumatic presses. It ferments in stainless steel tanks with temperature control, and temperature is regulated to about 16 to 18 degrees Celsius. All the wine undergoes malolactic conversion to soften the acidity and add a little bit of richness and roundness to the wine. Now the wine doesn't see any oak whatsoever. It ages in stainless steel tanks, and it probably stays in those tanks until it's ordered and it's ready to bottle, during which time the lees from the fermentation is left with it, and that will give some additional richness and roundness to the style of the wine. So let's have a look at it, shall we? Starting off, that's a medium to pale yellow colour. The wine's got 13% alcohol, and as I'm swirling it, it's barely forming tears on the glass there. It's not particularly viscous. So let's see what we make of the aroma, shall we? The aromas seem quite neutral, but actually there's a really quite vivid minerality to the whole thing. There's almost a sort of a note of seashell there. Sitting behind that, there's a little bit of citric freshness. I guess it could be lemon, it could be grapefruit equally. You know, just something slightly sort of sharp, a bit pithy. So let's have a taste. It's a dry wine, it's a mid-weight wine. There's a little of that sort of slightly pithy, lemony, grapefruity, probably more grapefruity actually. It doesn't quite have the cut through of sort of lemoniness. And there is the roundness that's been produced by the, you know, slight butterscotchy malolactic conversion notes, and also the slight creaminess coming from the lees aging that this has experienced. It's giving a roundness and a little bit of richness to the mid-palate. I mean, it's mid-weight, it's not a particularly heavy wine. The fruit may have sort of tiny hints of melon and that sort of thing, but really, to me, it's the sort of grapefruity freshness on the attack and on the finish that is the most attractive aspect of the wine, along with its sort of minerality that's running through the mid-palate there, and is sort of showing just above the sort of creamy, slightly butterscotchy notes there. Not a wine with huge weight, it's not a wine with huge distinction. It's cleanly made, it doesn't have a mass of nervosity, the acidity is keeping the fruit fairly fresh and it's giving a nice length to the, but in honesty it's a straightforward, simple wine that's best enjoyed nicely chilled so that its freshness makes it as refreshing as possible. I noticed that the Wine Searcher average score on this was just 87. For some wines that would be a damning assessment, but actually for a wine produced in high volume that's not setting out to portray great individuality, I think that that's a reasonable score, denoting the fact that it's well made, it's cleanly made, it's balanced, and it has some pretty good length. I don't think it's a wine that requires any aging. You're probably best off drinking that within the next year or two. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you found the tasting of interest. If you have, do please press the like button. Do please consider subscribing to our channel. It'd be fantastic to have your support, and that way you can get a notification every time we publish a new video. Do please share the video with any of your friends you think might be interested in watching it. And feel free to leave any comments. It would be fantastic to get your feedback on the videos we're doing, the wines we're looking at, or anything else that relates to that. Now, I think one of the things about this wine actually is that its price relative to its quality is quite important. It's not an expensive wine. I'll leave a link in the notes below to the Wine Searcher website, and you can see the pricing, you can see where it's available near you. You can also find out more details about it via the various tabs on the page that you get to. So thank you again for joining us, and do please try and find some time and come and join us again in the near future, won't you? Thanks again. Bye for now.